boys,
We're in air.
all of my traumologs out there and all of his lighted nights out there. Welcome back to Other Robert.
Yes.
I'm Joe, joined here, of course, by... And we're frozen already. Wonderful. A great start. Rob, are you there? Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I don't know if I am frozen or if Rob is frozen. So, wow, was not planning to start off the stream like this. All right. So, welcome back to Other Robert. I, of course, am Joe, and we are already experiencing technical difficulties. This is South Park, Season 20, Episode 1. They've made it to Season 20, and we're back for what's going to be a great fall season, especially here on Other Robert. We have a lot of content coming your way, all starting soon. And it all starts right now with South Park, Season 20, Episode 1, Member Berries. So this tackled a few different topics, and I guess I'll talk about the episode until Rob comes back, unless I'm frozen, and maybe no one's listening to me right now. I don't know. I can't end the stream, so it's going to be pretty bad if he does. Oh, yep, and says he's done. So with this episode, like I said, we tackled a lot of different issues in this episode of South Park, and really this was a great episode to start off the season. As we've seen with South Park, the seasons have kind of become a continuous story throughout the seasons, and this really established what we're going to see with the rest of the season. It seems like Gerald is going to be a villain, and Kyle's going to be the main good guy. That's going to be interesting. I want to see why. I want to see what Gerald's motivations are, as ludicrous as they may be. Because as you saw, in the end, we found out that he was the troll. I knew it wasn't going to be Cartman. Thought it was going to be Butters. All right.
So, hi, I'm back. Yeah, the modem. I don't know.
The modem, yeah.
Just the modem. The light shut off. I don't know how.
All right. Well, I pretty much just got into Member Berries, Season 20, Episode 1. Quick explanation for you, because I know you have only seen the past couple seasons of South Park. The giant douche versus turd sandwich reference, that's back from an older episode where there was an entire episode based on that. And was the school mascots were a giant douche and a turd sandwich. It was a contest. It was a, they were voting for which one was going to be the school mascot. So they essentially said that every election ever comes down to a giant douche and turd sandwich. So it was really good to see that callback to, I believe it was a Season 8 episode.
So you're going back 12 years.
Well, it's Season 20. If they're going to have nostalgia in any season, this would be the time to do it. And we already saw some nostalgia in this episode with that. So I really, really loved that they included that, and it fits so well. And I hope we continue to see that. Well, what do you think of that? Because like I said, you didn't even know, I'm sure.
Well, I didn't know, so I don't have like the feels.
Right, but I'm saying this being the first time, the concept is,
it's funny. I like it. It's good.
Yeah. So we saw that in terms of Hillary Clinton versus their version of Donald Trump with Garrison, which we saw last season, and it's going to be good this time, we can tell.
Yeah, no, I like that. It took me a minute to determine who was who between the giant turd and the douche. I was really glad that they said it, because I didn't want to be incorrect, and I thought it was hysterical. So I liked it, and I really did like that a lot.
What's going to be very special in this season of South Park, now that they're doing these continuous episodes, this is the first time we've seen a presidential election run the same time as South Park, and South Park doing this continuous series. Last time they did an election was Obama versus Romney, 4 years ago? That would have been Season 16, I guess. So they've done presidential episodes. They've pretty much pumped them out pretty quickly. We find out who wins on Tuesday, and they have an episode Wednesday. So this time, they're really going to just mirror the entire election, it seems like, and have Hillary versus Garrison in almost every episode until that point.
Well, they're going to be able to do that till November because that's when the election is. So they'll be able to do that.
A majority of the season will probably be devoted to this election, and I love it. I think it's great. When it comes to a social commentary, what better than mirroring the election?
Yeah, and also they have the writers of South Park have such a interesting point of view to take from what's going on around us. So I always like to hear their perspective of it, especially how they labeled Clinton and Trump.
Right. And like I said, that was a callback to their earlier episode, but it was funny to see them labeling each of them with those labels, which kind of fits.
I think, well, I have to say, for douche and turd, I kind of thought both were Trump. So I like, you really can't miss, I think.
I don't know. I thought both of them pretty much it fit.
Well, I guess it could fit both of them, but my initial reaction was which one is Trump? Because I feel like the South Park people would be like, he could be either one. That's just my thought.
Yeah, I thought it fit with what they were trying to do perfectly. Like I said before you came on, this was a great establishing.
To be fair, I was there in the beginning, but then my modem, the second I clicked start, decided to die.
Right, when I started talking about the episode. Yes. This was a great establishing episode for what will be the rest of the season. This really set up a lot of plot points that we'll probably see really be a main thread or main threads throughout the season. Funny. It was definitely very funny. Loved Little Red Riding Kyle.
Yes, I like that too. I like the fairy tale throwback that he had. Also, the J.J. Abrams was awesome as well.
See, that is the one thing I'm going to disagree with you on. I thought that was the weaker part of the episode. I thought it was funnier in theory than it turned out to be. The member berries, although they had a couple funny lines, it was a little too weird for me. And I didn't really...
Do you remember Reagan?
I got it, but at the same time, in terms of the comedy, I think it was fine for this episode. I didn't have a major problem with it. However, I don't think this should become a trope for the rest of the season.
The berries?
Yeah. And even the J.J. Abrams inclusion. I thought that could have been much funnier.
It could have been funnier, but I liked it. I don't know. I like that, and I really liked how Cartman decided to revamp fairy tales, or talk about the revamping of fairy tales, since that's been happening for years. So I really did like that. Plus, the way he was reading the story was pretty awesome. Like where he said "token," he's like,
Yeah, and he was wearing a Token's Life Matters shirt, so expect that to be.
Yeah,
that wasn't really hit on too much. I'm guessing there'll be an episode to that point. Although I feel like we've seen that type of episode so many times before, but they'll probably find a way to take a new spin on it. But for the most part, we saw a couple points really mentioned here. We said the member berries, we said the election, which will probably be a huge thing, and Gerald's dad being, I guess, the villain for the season. We saw PC Principal a little bit. We did see him. Yeah, we saw a lot of things that will definitely be the main threads of the season, as last season had to do with the ads, season before that. Being bored and everything. I think we have our main kind of roots here, and I'm interested to see how it evolves, especially with that ending. I've never seen really a South Park ending like that, with that twist.
Oh, like revealing a villain like that?
Yeah, just in that way. It set up. This was the first episode, so it really set him up to be, I guess, the villain for the rest of the season. They did it early.
I just want to give Skyrim Dude 82 where he said Skank Cunt 42, and where he talked about it was funny when Cartman drew a vagina with balls on his face.
That was probably the funniest part.
Yes, completely agree with you, Skyrim Dude 82. So thank you for that. That was one of the funniest things I've seen on South Park, and it was a solid. It was solid in my opinion, as someone who's only watched the past 3 seasons. So,
right. What do you think? Are you interested in so far, I guess, what they set up for the season?
Oh yeah, I can't. I think the social commentary on the politics, on the election, is going to be great to see, because they only have 10 episodes, and that's in a couple weeks. So that's really cool to see. The one thing I didn't think will last is, how in the beginning how Cartman was talking about girls and being funny. Do you think that's going to be a trend too, or do you think that was just like one-off for this episode?
I think that was probably not a one-off just because of how it ended with Wendy and Bebe turning off their TVs.
Right.
I would have thought it was going to be a one-off until they did that scene. I feel like there was a point to that scene. I think that's something that we're going to be seeing more on.
Yeah. I guess that was like the one thing that kind of threw me off. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
I thought it was a pretty funny scene. There wasn't really anything so outrageously funny that I'll probably remember weeks from now about this episode. But it was an enjoyable watch.
I mean, we did talk about the Barry thing for a few minutes before we started, so that could be one that comes back.
Right, and the drawing on Carmen's face. That's probably
the drawing was awesome.
I'll remember. But besides that, down the road, much memorability? No, I think it served its purpose, though. This was an episode to establish season 20. I think we got that. We got some nostalgia with the third throwback, and I hope we get more nostalgia as we go through this historic 20th season.
20 seasons. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I hope we see a lot of throwback characters and references. You know, I'm all about the nostalgia in South Park. So I hope we see a lot more of that. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the episode. Rob, do you have any other points that you'd like?
No, I'm good. I like going off of your lead as you are the South Park encyclopedia, and I am just the South Park novice.
All right. Well, that's it for us. As always, this is a discussion. So we said our piece. You
share in the comments.
Let's talk about this. Let's see. What do you think of the first episode of season 20? Do you think it started off the right way, or did not start off in a way that you would have liked it to? You think they kind of missed the ball? Let us know. And let's talk about it, and we'll see you next week for episode 2.
Yes, thank you all for watching live with us, and thank you for watching later. Sorry in the beginning that I got kicked out, but I was able to make it for the whole thing.
And subscribe, because it only takes around that much effort to do so. And as I said earlier when Rob got disconnected, we are back.
Yes.
Back for fall, and expect a lot of videos, a lot of discussions coming this fall with a lot of different shows, including South Park. So we'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye, guys.